Without getting too technical, I'll talk about 7 things you can do right now to be able to take slightly better photos with your smartphone. But before we move on, I'm trying to reach 200,000 subscribers, and it'll be great if you could drop a like, hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. And now let's get started with the first thing you should do. You may have noticed that the brightest part of your photo often ruins the color as well as details. And just tapping on that brightest part can fix the exposure and make it right. However, there's always a drop in brightness, so you can decide whether you want more detail or you want more brightness and accordingly use this feature. For example, in this picture, notice the color of the building after I tap. It changes to the true color, which is pink, or the floor. It just adds more detail. And even in this one, I'm trying to take a picture of the keyboard, but the backlight that you see is too bright, and that's not even the true color. Now if I tap on the brightest part, the color will get corrected, but the keyboard goes out of focus, which is what I'll try to fix in my second tip to you. Now, the second one is actually an extension of the first one. If you want to be able to manually control this exposure, you can do that by a slider that you get as soon as you tap on the screen. And so continuing on the example I showed earlier, tap on the keyboard and you see this slider that appears on your phone's screen. You can use that to manually control how much exposure you want or how much brightness you want to set, and you can get the exact shot that you want. But yes, there would always be a relationship between brightness and accuracy. So if you want accuracy, you may lose on to some brightness, which may not always be something that you want. So take that decision, experiment with this slider and see what seems best, and then you can take your shot. And now let's talk about the third one, which I think is something you guys already know but tend to ignore or neglect at the time of taking a picture, is that when you're taking a shot, try and make sure that the source of light is coming from behind you. Even better if it comes from diagonally behind you for the best shot. If your object is well lit, you get a really high quality, focused and well detailed shot, as opposed to the light being behind the subject, which can make your photo look a little dark. And to demonstrate this very simply, without you judging how I look here or the photography skills of the person, look at the first picture. The light source is behind the subject or in front of the camera, which makes the image dark. The third one is where the subject is properly lit because the sunlight is falling straight. The best one is actually when the sunlight is falling at an angle to the subject, and that makes for the best picture. So the pro tip 3 is always take a picture with the sunlight at an angle behind you for the best shot. Coming to the next tip, it's the simplest and probably again very well known, is tap on the subject or the object you're trying to take a picture of so that it's in focus and it's sharp. So let's say you want to take a shot of the keys on the keyboard here, just tap on it. Or let's say you want to take a shot of the card behind the keyboard that says 1. Just tap there and you'll see it comes into focus. Or maybe you want to take a shot of the mouse. So just tap on the mouse and you'll see that the mouse becomes really sharp. Or the earbuds case behind. So it's really that simple. So you want the sharpest photo, click on it. Oh, and just something you should know, your smartphone camera is able to focus faster if there's more light in the scene, and the focus is slow if there's less light. People say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. True, but only if it's captured correctly. If not, it's not going to have too many words to describe itself, now would it? This is what the next topic is about, which is frame composition, and it's probably the toughest thing to teach yourself or to grasp. You know, a picture without much context or elements to it can't really appeal a lot because they may not have any story to it. And that's where, capturing the right frame is an art, and that's why photography is such a difficult skill to master. But as a general rule, if you follow the rule of thirds, you can get fairly well balanced shots with enough context to make it look good. Now, to be able to use rule of thirds, you'll have to go and enable grid lines. Now, you can go to settings and turn that setting on. It may not be exactly here for your phone, but you can always search for it and it must be there. Once you turn it on, you'll see a grid on your phone. It's going to have 2 lines running vertically and 2 lines running horizontally. And now when you're trying to take a picture, try to place the subject or the object at the intersection of 2 lines. And that generally should give you a good picture to go with. The next one has to do with being able to use the ultra-wide lens on your phone. If you've purchased your phone in the last 1.5 2 years, there's a high chance that you have an ultra-wide lens on your phone that you can use. And that's pretty much how you switch between that. Now let's say this is on regular lens and you switch to ultra-wide and you see the difference, the impact, the immersive nature of being able to take a shot that's in ultra-wide lens. You can adjust the exposure as I taught you in the first tip and take some really good pictures. For example, check out the ultra-wide photo on the right and the perspective and depth that it adds to your picture. This is a shot taken using the primary lens, and from the same spot I took this from the ultra-wide lens. Just look at how immersive a picture can be. And again, just another example, primary lens and bam, ultra-wide lens. So use that more often. And the last tip has nothing to do with how you take a photo, but rather how you apply general editing tweaks to pretty much any picture to make it look a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more punchy, and just better in general. Here's what I do. Download and install Snapseed on your phone from the Play Store. It's free. When you take a picture, tap on the share icon and then look for Snapseed. Your photo would directly open up in Snapseed where you can then apply a couple of tweaks. There are some preset filters and my favorite ones are Pop and Portrait. So these are pretty much what I use. But I actually prefer some manual tweaks, and stay with me guys, it's really simple. Go into Tools and then go into Curves. Drop the shadows a little, just a little, and increase the highlights a little. That's it, a very simple S kind of curve, very not too much. Then go into Tools and go into Tune Image. Now with a simple scroll vertically, you'll be able to access some parameters like brightness, contrast. What I do is generally increase the contrast a little and then maybe add some highlights or saturation, and then a bit of warmth to add some yellowness. Of course, this would depend on how your picture is taken already, but mostly this works. And then I like to add a little bit of drama towards the end. So I go into HDRscape. As you can see, it's a little too much right now, but you can just swipe back and forth to set the filter strength, which I would do at about 25. And that's it. Now you can tap on the screen to see the original picture and then release to see what you've done. And you can see the difference, guys. Just 2 minutes of editing can really pop your picture. And that's it, guys. Those are 7 simple things you can do on your smartphone camera right now to be slightly better at your smartphone photography and be able to take better pictures. Thank you for watching, guys. If you've got any comments or questions, feel free to comment them in the section below. As always, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. I'll see you in the next one.